version of you. Empower like Cleopatra. Empower like Cleopatra.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this show from. It's so good to see you here. Let's see who's at the chat already. Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Join, join, join. I want everybody to join. This is going to be an exciting episode. My name is Cleopatra Starrett. I'm your host. I hope you had a good weekend. How was your Valentine? Did you have fun? Okay, ladies. First of all, if you are the chat, just put something on the chat to let me know you're here. All right, let's talk about something some people, people would whisper about, but rarely discuss openly. What really happens to your vagina when you stop having sex? Now, I'm going to use different names. If I say kitty or VJJ or your girl or your throne or your crown, I'm talking about the same thing. It's just that the word vagina kind of sounds a little bit for me. So I might use different names. Just know that I'm talking about the same thing. Okay. So who's at the chat? Who's here already? There's some people who have already said, "Ooh, um, okay." Hilarious Pet says, "I'm looking forward to this." Yeah, absolutely. And I've got thumbs up. I've got hearts, and I've got my dear Robin. Robin says, "Good job." You probably can't see the men squirm on here. However, many will be enlightened and educated. Maureen, hi. Maureen says, hi from Maureen. Good to see you, sis. Mwah. Oh, Priscilla. Thank you so much for joining. Rita, hey girl. Nice to have you here. I've got so many people join. It's going to be a fun one, guys. Listen, it's going to be fun. All right. So I am going to really, like this is about having a conversation. Okay. But before we go in, I just want to thank everyone who's been contributing. I mean, the usual suspects are already here anyway. We've got Maureen, we've got Robin, and we've got so many other people. Rita, Priscilla, so many people are here. So thank you so much. Keep just share it, please share it. Share this and let people join. And I'd also like to remind you that if you'd like to be a guest on my show or you want to be a co-host, please feel free to send an email to empowerlifewithcleopatra@gmail.com. That's an email address. My email address is empowerlifewithcleopatra.com, right? One word. Send an email and then, we can, arrange something. And for those of you who are watching this for the first time or you watch it later, please make sure that you watch the video to the end. Watch it to the end. Don't just stop halfway because the YouTube algorithm will recommend it to somebody else when you watch it to the end. If you leave it halfway, they'll think, oh, it's not that fun. Yeah. So I'm going to jump right in by asking my ladies this question. First of all, what happens to your vagina, your VJJ, your girl, when you stop having sex, when you stop getting it in? All right. Now, I know some of you are thinking, wait a minute. Is my vagina in trouble or should I be concerned? Or some of you are probably wondering, is it really that big of a deal? Well, I'm here to break it all down for you today. All right. No myths, no awkwardness, just pure facts, some medical insights, and a little bit of fun. Okay. But before I continue, let's see who else is here. Teresa Giles, Teresa Gillette. Hello and happy Sunday from Tessie. Hi, Tessie. Nice to have you here. Okay, guys, here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let's get right into this, all right? Because this is such fun. So, of course, I want to get everybody involved. So I've already put some things in the chat. So respond to those questions, ladies. So if you've got any thoughts or any questions or any wild guesses, just shout them out. All right. Let's make this a conversation. I am not here to lecture you. It's just a conversation, right? So first of all, what is the science behind sex and your girl, your VJJ, your crown. All right. When you're having sex, what's the science behind it? First, let's talk about what happens when you have regular sex. When you're sexually active, your vaginal tissues are naturally more elastic, they are lubricated, and the blood circulation in the area improves. You can see from the diagram, right? It is particularly obviously because of the estrogen in your body. And it's also because of the fact that sex keeps your pelvic muscles engaged. Yeah. So we know that's really good for you. Look at this. Increased blood flow, uh, improved plexural walls, improved elasticity, improved moisture. Your estrogen levels are up there. You feel good. Some women sometimes they get cranky when they haven't had any, all right, or they get down or whatever. And then some people will say, when was the last time you had it? When was the last time you got it in? Do you know that? So that's what normally people would say. All right. So what happens when you stop having sex? Does it dry up like an old prune? What happens when you stop having sex? All right, let's look at this image about, this lady that feels really, really good because she's had a little bit of something. Valentine wasn't, it was, Oh, Edith. Hi, Edith. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Right. So obviously it's good to have sex. Yeah, it helps in so many ways. Robin says the lady in the image on the left really needs to see a doctor, though there will be little they can do about that condition. It's Robin, honestly. Okay, so let's check this out. What happens when you stop having sex? Right? Does it shrink like a dry prune? Does it dry out? Does it close up like an old library book? Just relax, guys. We're going to separate fact from fiction, right? Now, before I tell you what really happens, I want to hear your guesses. Put it in the chat. What do you think changes the most? What do you think changes the most? And some of you might say, oh, it's dry. Okay, that's true. Some may say, oh, there might be no changes at all. It doesn't matter, But seriously, though, let me see what you guys got on the chat. What happens? Okay, Robin says the lady in the image on the left really needs. Okay, yeah, he said that already. Okay, that's fine. But you see, what happens is that there's reduced blood flow. Guys, there's a science behind all this. Okay, here's what science tells us happens when you go for a while without sex. This is what science. This is not me. This is not Cleopatra saying it. There is decreased lubrication, right? And that's a fact. Without regular sexual activity, some people, especially postmenopausal women, by that I mean women who are already in their menopause, they may experience vaginal dryness due to lower estrogen levels. Yeah? It's medical proof. A study published in the journal Menopause found that sexual activity helps maintain natural lubrication by stimulating estrogen production. That's scientific fact, right? So if you've been feeling a little bit drier down there, now you know why. Yeah, now you know why. The next thing is that there's loss of elasticity, and it's called vaginal atrophy. That's the other name for it, but only for some people. For those who've gone through menopause, vaginal tissues can become thinner and less elastic without regular sexual activity. However, for younger women, this usually isn't the case because obviously they're still young, their estrogen levels is still high. But the Mayo Clinic reports that vaginal atrophy is most common in postmenopausal women. And that can be managed with certain treatments as well, though. Yeah. So it's not like all hope is lost. Some treatments can take care of that. Another thing that happens also is that you have weaker pelvic muscles. Yes, your vagina and your pelvic muscles can weaken over time if they are not engaged in sexual activity. But guys, sex isn't the only way to strengthen them. Okay? Guys, I'm going to see the chats now. Any guesses on what else can happen if you don't, or how you can keep your pelvic muscles strong if you don't have sex? Any guesses? Any guesses? Put something in the chat for me, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Put something in the chat. What happens? What do you think happens when you don't have sex? Put something in the chat. Let's see. I'm going to put this image for you to see, because the thing is, there's quite a lot of things you can do to strengthen your pelvic muscles, even though they're weak, because you've not been getting it on, you've not been doing what you're supposed to do. But there are exercises like Kegels. Have you guys heard of Kegels exercises? Have you heard of that? It's called, they are pelvic floor exercises, but it's called Kegels. Yeah, as in Kegels, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's what happens. That's what you can do to actually help firm up your muscles. You can also do yoga. Yeah, how many of you do yoga, ladies? Do you do yoga? That helps a lot as well. And then deep squats. That will help keep your muscles firm and active. Another thing that happens when you don't have sex regularly is your libido is lowered. So the less you engage in sexual activity, the less your body produces certain hormones associated with sexual desires. So it's like, you know what, when they say lose it or use it or lose it. Yeah, that's the effect. But don't worry, it's not like it's not a be all and end all. It can always, those desires can always come back again when you find that special somebody. You know what I mean? When you find that special person, those desires will come back again. But usually when you don't do it for a while, it's like your body just says, okay, fine, let's just chill, let's just relax. And you find that you don't really have the urge to do it anymore. Or if you've been in a relationship for a long time, maybe in a marriage or something, or long relationship, and maybe things are not going as well as you want them to go, whatever, there's a tendency that sexually you might be kind of like not attracted to them anymore. But you can do things to also spice that up to get the relationship back and running again. Another thing that happens when you're not sexually active is that the immune system is affected. Sex has been shown to boost the immune system. So when you stop having it, you might see a small dip in immunity. But if you eat well, you exercise well, that can help balance that out, and that can help you as well. And then you have another thing, like your mood and your stress levels can go up. We know that sex releases this what they call the feel good hormones called endorphins, and oxytocins, which helps to make you feel good, and it just helps your body really feel good about itself. So that's what sex does. So, but when you don't have that sex, those hormones are kind of like inhibited. Yeah. So when that happens, you may need to find other ways to get that feel good hormone rush. And like I said, if you exercise, you meditate, or if you're like me, a nice ice cream, and maybe some strawberry cheesecake, that might help as well. Okay. So take a look at this lady. Obviously, she's not been getting it. So she's not very happy. And so that can, like I said, it can, some people actually get depressed when they don't do it. I know people who actually, they can't do without it. They are always in it. Oh, hi, Bumi. Bumi is here. Thank you so much for joining. Robin says, hi, Robin says you eat chocolate more. Yeah, that's if you like chocolate. I'm not, well, actually, I won't say I'm not big on chocolate. I like chocolate. But yeah, I prefer my ice cream or my strawberry cheesecake. But yeah, so I want to hear from the audience though. What do you think are the best ways to maintain a healthy vagina? Now we know that sex is good for you. and it keeps your body healthy in a way, right? But while sex has its benefits, it's not the only way to maintain your vaginal health, right? You know that, right? There are other ways that you can maintain your body, your vaginal health. There are so many ways. So put it in the chats. What do you think are the other ways that you can maintain your vaginal health? Let's see. Let's see what you've got in the chats. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the advantages and disadvantages of having sex, or the break. If you're not having sex, what are the pros and the cons of it? All right. But let's see what you have here already. Cinder says, interesting that sex boosts the immunity. Hearing that for the first time. Girl, there's a lot. When I was doing research about this show, I learned a lot. It does boost your immunity. Yeah. And actually, for women who are approaching, who are premenopausal, if they stop having sex, some research say that it actually speeds up your menopause, because your body starts feeling that, okay, maybe you're not inclined that way anymore. So menopause is sped up if you're not having sex regularly. If you're still having sex or you're sexually active, you can stay up to 50 something, 60 years old, and you're still menstruating, because your body is still getting the nourishment that it needs. Your immunity is still high. Your body still feels, okay, I can still do this. So sex has so much benefits. But as I said, what are the pros and the cons? Now let's break it down to the pros of not having sex. Okay, what are the advantages of not having sex? I mean, if you're not having sex, first of all, you don't have to worry about catching an STD or something like that. You don't have to worry about unplanned pregnancy. I mean, that's really good, right? You don't have to worry about that. You can focus on other pleasures. You can love yourself. This self-discovery, self-love. You guys, you can do that. You can focus more on yourself. You can have more clarity in your minds, emotional clarity. Sometimes when you take a break from sex, it helps you to reassess other things, like the relationships that you have, your personal needs, all kinds of stuff. You think clearly, there's no distractions. But what if you're not having sex? What happens? Obviously, we've talked about it before. Vaginal dryness, less elasticity for some women, especially if you're postmenopausal. All right, you're dry, less elasticity, weak pelvic, which Kegels, like I mentioned earlier, will help with. There's a lower libido. There's reduced blood flow to your body in terms of your sexual organs, you know. So those are the consequences of not having sex. Now, how do you keep your vagina happy without sex? How do you keep it happy? If you're not sexually active right now, don't worry. There are ways to keep your girl happy and, make sure they are healthy. So the first thing you do, stay hydrated. Lubrication starts from within. Take lots of fluids, lots of liquids. Eat estrogen boosting foods like flax seeds, soy, leafy green vegetables. It helps to balance your hormones. Do Kegels. And now let's talk about the Kegels. You guys, you know what Kegels means, right? The Kegel exercises. You know what I'm talking about, right? For ladies, when you squeeze, hold it, you squeeze your girl. I'm squeezing it right now. Can you tell? You squeeze and then you release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze it, leave it for a little while, and then release. It helps, trust me, it helps keep your pelvic muscles really nice and tight. You know what I'm saying? So that, when the time comes for you to get it on and get it in, you can still, let them know that you got it. You still got it going on. All right. What does Robin says? Is it a case that laughter is the best medicine, or one of them, or sitting on a washing machine during the spin cycle? Does that help, Robin? Does that help if you sit on a washing machine during the spin cycle? Go on, say it. Let's know if it does. I've just heard that for the first time. Okay, so do the Kegels exercises. That works wonders, trust me. And then use lubricants if you need to, especially for women who are in their menopause. We know that we said it's already been established that they go dry down there. Use lubricants. And also stay active, guys. Stay active. Movement boosts circulation and it helps your vagina to stay in top shape. So stay active, do exercises. And then another thing, well, medically, they say self-stimulation. Now, I am not going to advocate for that, but medically, they say it helps to keeps your blood flow going and it prevents vaginal atrophy, right? It prevents vaginal atrophy. So it helps to keep your blood flow going when you self-stimulate. Now, what do you guys think they mean by self-stimulation? I'm not going to say it, but what do you guys think they mean? Is it DIY kind of thing? Huh? Okay. Herbert, at what age does menopause start and finish? That's a brilliant question. Thanks for watching from Florida. Oh, wow. Guys, this is the first time I'm getting somebody watching from the US, Florida. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you. I appreciate your joining. Please keep coming, keep joining, okay? Thank you. Tessie says sex has important benefits. Skin to skin, ooh, girl, love talk, sex play, romance, and actual sex is a sweet drive to happiness, youthfulness, and good relationship. Tessie, I couldn't have put it better myself. You just said it. That's it. Absolutely. Anybody else has any ideas? And Robin says cucumbers. Get scared. What? What? Self-stimulation. That women use cucumbers. Ladies, do you use cucumbers? Do you? I have no idea. I've never used one. I don't know what I don't know how they do that. But if you do, and if it works for you, please let's see it. Let's see it. Do you use cucumbers? Oh my gosh, Robin. Robin, really? This is so funny. Okay, well, if you use, and it makes you feel good, hey, who am I? Why rock the boat? I know that for certain faiths and certain religion, especially one of the ones that the one I subscribe to, Christianity, and they say self-stimulation or what they call masturbation. Hmm. It's not allowed, it's not permitted, it's not biblical, it's wrong, right? I guess that's another discussion for another day. What you guys think? I think maybe we'll talk about that for another chat, another discussion. So yeah, but does any of this surprise you? I know it does for me, especially like I said, the masturbation bit, and oh, by the way, in answer to Herbert's question, at what age does menopause start? It depends on the person. Some people actually go into early menopause as early as 30s. Why? I have no idea why they go into early menopause that early. Some people go into it as 30s. Some people go, especially some people that have PCOS, like this polycystic ovarian syndrome, that they don't have a lot of female hormones. They have more testosterone than progesterone. For some reason, they go into early menopause. Well, some of them. So they have to give them lots of progesterone boosting treatments to help them become more, I don't know, feminine, I guess. I don't know. Priscilla says, I use the real deal. The penis. Google, YouTube, please don't strike me. Yeah, right. Don't strike me. But you know what? There's no such. I mean, there's nothing. There's no replacement for the real thing. I can't say. I can't say more than that. There's nothing like the real thing. All right. There's nothing like the real thing. So I am with you on that, girl. There is no such thing as a cucumber when you've got the real thing. All right. Okay. Now, Tessie says, maybe a gherkin thin and work your way up. That's Robin. Tessie says, get a sex toy, please. I don't know. Sex toy. I mean, I have to be honest, and this is a platform where I like to be free. I don't like to pretend or about anything. The truth about the matter is, I don't have one. I don't have one. I don't, I don't know how people use it, whether it works for them or not. But if it does, thumbs up, more power to you. Um, and then what else? What else? What else? Cinda says menopause is not age bound. My junior sister, for instance, started menopause in her mid 40s, while I started at 53 years old. Exactly. Exactly. So, some people start when they are in their 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I have a friend, she's 60 and she's still having menstruation, she's still menstruating. She's still menstruating. She's 60. She's still menstruating. Now, I don't know whether she's sexually active. I don't know whether she's just naturally still fertile. I know she doesn't have a lot of kids. So I can't say it's because she's very fertile or anything like that. But she's 60 and she's still getting it on. So you're in your 40s, people can start going into menopause for whatever reason. It can be a medical abnormality. It can be genetic even. The reason why people will go into menopause that early. It can be genetic. I don't know. But guys, let's keep this conversation going, right? Let's keep this going. I'm loving this. Before we go though, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest myth about sex that you've heard before? What's the biggest myth about sex and vaginal health that you've heard? What is the biggest thing you've heard that you think this is ridiculous? And what question have you always been shy to ask when it comes to this, sexual health, especially when you're not having sex? What's the question you've always wanted to ask that you haven't asked? Yeah, let's see what's in your chats. Right. Okay. Yeah, Herbert. Wow. Yeah, that's true. So, what's the biggest question you would want to ask, or that you've always wanted to know about this? A lot of things that I learned about this menopausal thing, the fact that you get reduced elasticity, for instance, reduced blood flow, decreased elasticity. Your vaginal walls becomes really, really thin. Really thin, and you get very dry. I know people actually, and I've had this discussion with people before where they say that the ladies who are in their 50s, who are in their 60s, who are actually menopausal, they do say that they get this dryness. They're really, really dry, and they wonder whether they can, whether they can even be sexually active again, because it just feels like they lose the urge to have sex. Yeah. So, Herbert says, I'm really excited to learn from this amazing team. There's more to learn. Listen, you need to join every week because we have a different topic every week, and we learn so much on a weekly basis. So please keep joining. You will learn much more. I learn a lot, even though I'm the host of the show. There's so much more that I learn, in this show, because I do a lot of research and a lot of things captivates me, honestly, in this show. So guys, just keep dropping them in the chat, keep dropping in the chat. And remember, guys, when you're having a lot of sex, or whether you're not having it at all, or maybe something in between, like the self stimulation or whatever they call it, the most important thing is knowing your body and taking care of your health. Because at the end of the day, your vagina, your VJJ, your girl deserves love and care. No matter what, it deserves love and care, guys. So if you've enjoyed today's show, please put a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up on the in the chats. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, you know where you got the thumbs up button on this page, on this. Just give me a like, right? Share this, right, guys? And definitely, like I said, if you're here for the first time, please share this with somebody else who might want to, who benefit from this. And I don't want you to miss another episode, right? And if you're coming back to watch it again, watch it to the end, please, right? So until next time, guys, just continue to look after yourself. Oh, Herbert says, do women still feel to have sex during menopause? Of course, they do. Trust me, they do. They do. Women still have the, even though the hormones are depleted, they're not as high as they used to. They still have the urges. We all have the urges. Even a 60, 70, 80-year-old woman can still get those feelings. They still have the urge. It's just that it's reduced. It's not as um it's not as it used to be, but they still have the urges. And like I said, when you meet somebody who you love and who you are sexually attracted to, that's another thing. If you're sexually attracted to your partner, your body tells you, I want this person. And then you start feeling this wetness down there and everything because your body wants the person. So you will still get those urges. Yeah. Hey, Dio, thanks for joining. It's so good for you to join. Thank you so much. Herbert is asking, what country are you located? I'm in the United States, in Florida. Well, this is the UK. We're in London, but people join from all over the world, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Brazil, from China, from different parts of the world. So yeah, this is global. This is a global platform, right? And Herbert, if you want to be a guest on my show, please, I love you. Thank you for loving my show. I appreciate it. Please feel free to send me an email, like I said, to Empower Life with Cleopatra, one word, Empower Life with Cleopatra at gmail.com. That's Empower Life with Cleopatra at gmail.com. And you got to have something exciting to talk about. If you've got any products that you want to advertise to your loved ones, maybe you've just written a new book, you got a business that you want to promote, you've got anything you feel that people should know about, or you've got a confession that you want to make that will just get a load off your chest. Maybe you feel that you need to talk about it. Send me an email. And if you want to be anonymous, you don't even want people to see your face, we'll disguise you. You can disguise it and just come and talk. Just get it off your chest, right? Oh, there's some responses already. Cinda says, I think lack of interest in sex when you are in your 50s and over depends on your intimacy and closeness to your husband and partner. Absolutely, I agree. Like I said, you still have to be sexually attracted to the person. So lack of interest in sex when you are in your 50s and 60s and over depends on your intimacy. So if you and your partner are still crazy, you still like to do crazy things, even though you are in your 50s and 60s and 70s or what. I know a couple, they are in their late 70s. They're still getting it on. They're getting it in life. But both of them, they're still doing it. And they're having fun. And if you see this lady, she looks young, she looks vibrant, she looks healthy, she looks good. Because she's still getting it on. Her hormones are still, she's still getting it on. Right? What else? Tessie says some ladies in their menopause have high sex drive. They still have a wet, VJJ, and they need sex always. Totally. I agree. I 100% agree. They still do. There's some women that still do. Especially if you've always been sexually active even when you were younger and it's in you. There's some women who love to get it in. They just love to get it in. They love to have a good, you know, well, Christianese, I'll say koinonia. They love to have a good sex, right? So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Thank you, Herbert, for loving the show. Dio, thank you for the hearts emojis. I love you. Thank you so much. Cinda says, I'm in menopause and I think I'm more active than when I was younger. Hey, girl. Yes, 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 girl. Yes. Why not? You know, if you're with the guy that you love, you're with that special person, you just want to jump them all the time. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now, guys, nobody put anything on the chat about self stimulation or masturbation, as people would say. I've not seen anything in the chat. Is it that you guys are shying away from it? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And then Robin says to Cinder, he goes, but does that extend to fantasies and urges too, i.e., not physical interest in your immediate partner, but urges for actors or neighbors or the person sat next to you on the tube? Cindy, answer the question, please. Cindy, please answer the question. I don't know what to say. I mean, there's nothing wrong with fancying somebody that you see, I mean, you got eyes, you got blood flowing through your veins and everything. If you see somebody that you like, there's nothing wrong with, okay, you, okay, I like this one, nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't start, I don't know about, I mean, if you're married, you really shouldn't be fantasizing about another guy or another woman if you're married, because that's biblically, as a Christian, I wouldn't subscribe to that. But, who am I to judge you if you want to do that? Herbert says, well, it's like going back to school. Yeah, you bet. You bet. Cinda says, thanks for your input. Yeah, no. And that's Herbert. Herbert says to Cinda, thanks for your input. And then thank you for the heart emojis, Herbert. Robin says, oi, I said about cucumbers and washing machines. Yeah, for your step self-stimulation, right? And Cinda says never. I know she wouldn't. Cinda is a great woman of God, and she's not going to be fantasizing about anybody. Okay, she's happy with the gifts of a husband that the Lord has given her. Okay, let it be known. Okay, thank you guys. This has been fun. Cindy says, I've never fantasized about any other man but my husband. And right, you should do. Fantasize about your husband alone. Absolutely. Right, you are. Yes. But people do. I mean, I've read some books and I've seen some chat shows and TV shows where the woman says she doesn't love her husband anymore. So whenever she's with him, she just lays down there and she's thinking about, oh, I think it was Robin I said it sometime just now, thinking about an actor, a famous actor that she wished she was with. I mean, when you get to that stage where you start having to fantasize about somebody else, I don't know why you still want to be in that relationship, because that's disrespectful to that man for you to be with him, or in the man's case, be with a woman, and then you're fantasizing about another woman. I don't know. I don't think that's healthy at all in a relationship. And Robin says, it doesn't matter if you're married, you can window shop. Just don't leak or smash the window. I mean, what do you guys think about Robin's statement? It doesn't matter if you're married, you can window shop. So in other words, you can go to the restaurant, you can look at the menu, but as long as you don't order anything. Do you guys agree with that? You can look at the menu, but you don't, as long as you don't order anything. Thanks, Bumi, for your love emoji. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate this. This has been a fun show. I knew it was going to be fun. Thank you for subscribing, Herbert, to my channel. I appreciate you. And please share it with your friends and loved ones. Tell them we're going to have a good time next week. I can assure you of that. We're going to have a lovely show next week. Guys, join. I can't wait for next week. And remember, guys, be bold, be beautiful, but most importantly, be empowered. Love yourself. Be kind to each other. Yeah. And let's make this world a better place. Right? Robin, last comment, but don't touch. Look, but don't touch. Sex is a free gift and good to the body. I agree. Guys, keep dropping the comments on the chat. Keep dropping the comments on the chat. Just keep dropping it because I love the comments. When you keep dropping it, YouTube is happy with the fact that you're engaging with the channel, and it will push the video for me as well. So share, watch again, subscribe, and keep dropping comments. All right, and I'll respond to the comments as well. Right. Thank you so much once again for joining. I love you for joining. I love you. I'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourself. God bless you, and bye for now. Take care.
Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Unlock your true potential. Empower your mind, body, and soul. Live with intentions, live with a purpose. Empower your dreams, make it happen today. No matter your age, rise and shine. Live boldly, live authentically. It's your time to rise and shine. Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Your journey starts today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you